a lady that is calling all of the churches in her area to see if they will give her a can of formula for her fake 2-month-old baby.
I'm calling your church to test to see if they would help feed a starving baby.
Now, she says that the point of this social experiment is to see if Christian churches that ask for so much of our money are really using it to help the poor. And she's using her findings to prove that Christians are really just hypocrites. And a bunch of liberal women are going along with this as if she's a rocket scientist and there are no flaws in her research. She just calls up some random person at the church and says, "Do you have a can of formula for my 2-month-old that hasn't had anything to eat since yesterday?" And if the person that answers the phone does not have a can of formula on hand, she automatically marks that church as a church that is unwilling to feed a starving baby.
Actually, am doing a social experiment to see which churches would actually help with a baby that's in need. So I actually don't have a baby, but this was just a social experiment.
It also includes if the church actually does have a food pantry, but they don't have formula specifically. And even that just adds to her proof that Christians are hypocrites and that the church is really stealing our money. She doesn't take into account that most churches don't just keep food items on hand at that actual location. She doesn't take into account that the random person answering the phone might not know what actually is available in their food pantry. She doesn't take into account that a lot of these food pantries are donations based. One lady even told her that. So it's not that she doesn't want to give her formula, it's that if somebody doesn't specifically donate that item, it's not going to be available. But she marked that person as unwilling to feed a starving baby. Another organization that she marked as unwilling is one that specifically caters to senior citizens. Why would they have formula? Her experiment is operating under the assumption that when we donate to the church that there's just a box of cash sitting around that we can just pull from when people ask for it, or that the back of the chapel looks like a Walmart. But the truth is, churches are far more organized in how they feed the hungry and help the poor than the federal government is. And her little experiment actually just proved that. Because with the federal government, you can lie and they'll pay for your lifestyle. With the church, not quite so easy.